So welcome everyone. Today I am so blessed to have with me a good friend of mine named Alex Lojek. Alex is a gifted clairvoyant quantum healer. I say gifted because she really is. I've worked with her. Gifted clairvoyant quantum healer and psychic reader who supports her clients in bringing awareness to the subconscious parts of us that are coming up to be dealt with and healed. Out of sessions with Alex, clients enjoy greater clarity, energy boosts, deep self-realizations, and they feel in tune with their own energies and true selves. Alex connects with your higher self and your personal team to help you get to the next level of awareness on your spiritual journey. She specializes in energy healing, chakra balancing, past and present readings, life path readings, removing negative blocks, removing entities, karma clearing, hands-on healing, and deep inner work to help you align. Her focus is on releasing unwanted aspects of yourself into more awareness to make room for your authentic self to come in. So welcome,
Thank
Alex.
you so much. Thank you so much for this time together.
It's my pleasure, truly. And I asked Alex to come on and share with people just because I feel that her work is so important in the world. Alex, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, basically, I look at myself as like an energetic maintenance operator. You know what I mean? I basically look at the auric fields. I look at the body, all the systems. I have a vision of what your energetic makeup looks like when I tune into you. And I go about it in different ways, but depending on where the questions are and depending on where the work that comes up first that wants to heal, that usually shows up as like the first thing that comes in the layers, because the way that energy works is sometimes we don't see what's really there until we get to many different layers, and then we start to see other things that have been there, that have been hidden sometimes. Mm-hmm. So energy work definitely isn't like a one-time deal, like a magic potion. It's definitely not. Sometimes people expect energy work to be instant and instant gratification. Entity removals are probably the closest thing you're gonna get to that, when it's like instant gratification, because you do feel it when you have like a negative or lower frequency entity in your space.
And like exorcism, right?
Yeah, so if you remove that and you get to the core of that, then you really do feel like, wow, okay, oh my gosh, I have energy again, I'm clear-headed, oh my gosh, I feel this or that. Mm-hmm. But most of the time people come to me for basic questions, usually about money and relationships. But what those even show up as is all connected to different parts of us and different layers of us within that. So what you think might be just like a clearing of the relationship energy, it might go deeper into many lifetimes, or it might go deeper into family issues, or it might be a curse that needs to just be brought to attention, brought to light, and then we clear it. There's different type of things that go on. And because there's part of this work that's been hidden for like generations and generations and lifetimes after lifetimes. So we're coming to this place of like, part of this awakening to spirit is also awakening to what we're capable of doing and as energetic fields. So I look at it that way too, is we're doing work now that we've ignored for like lifetimes, that we could have done before if we were always like in tune with an awareness of who we actually are as beings and spirits. Then we could have had a lot of an easier time right now. But we're the ones that are doing this work, the ones that are driven to even look at this type of practice or work. There's a reason for that, and there's a reason that they need to clear a lot of stuff like as quick as they can, so they can start receiving more of this new energy, this new information, new downloads, new parts of ourselves that are actually the authentic part of ourselves that wants to come out to the surface. And I think that's my main goal of what I do, is just to get to that core place. and to clear all the webs, you know, like a cleanup crew.
Why do you think now is the time when everyone seems to, you know, be doing this more? Like back in the day, was it harder? Was it like?
Yeah, just also the time, the energy, the timeline, um, the speeding of time as well, the way the cycles are ending, the way that our consciousness is exploding and allowing us to dive into what we're able to dive into, what we're allowed to, what kind of information we're allowed to reach now easier. I mean, I think that's why as well. And that because our spirits are actually needing to heal. They're wanting to come out. The ones that feel it want it to come out more and more. They don't want to, you know, be suppressed, enslaved. You know, people really want to feel 100% like they know they're supposed to feel. You know, it's not just like a pill or a retreat is just gonna like fix everything in 1 week or whatever. You know what I mean? It's more of like a way of life that we forgot, and now we're coming back to that. You know what I mean? So I think that's why this is happening.
Awesome. Awesome. What would you say got you on this path?
It was more of like a call and just being catapulted into it. Um, Many traumas, and then not being able to heal from those traumas was one aspect. And getting probably to a place in my reality where it was tormenting, you know, and I wanted to figure out how to fix it without, um, I didn't really feel that psychology was really working for me. I didn't feel that the medication was definitely off the table, not even an option for me. So I've always been like that, always been anti-medicine like that, pharmaceuticals. But I knew that I could heal, and I knew that I wasn't broken, but it was really hard to not feel broken. And it took like years of trial and error to figure it out, like what it was. It was just the parts of myself that was holding on to all that trauma and pain and those memories, and they were stuck in my field. Um, it just built up. It just built up over time. And then I would ignore it. I would get to a place and I would be like, oh, I'm good. Everything's great. I feel wonderful again. And then I'd go back into the matrix. I'd go back into the 3D and just want to like, oh, I need to go and be a professional. I need to go chase this. I need to go chase this and that. And things that were non-spiritual or just very materialistic goals, you know what I mean? And then I came to a place in my life where I had a child, and then she woke in my spirit more and more, like the love that she gave me and opened up my heart chakra, just really, which happened in 2012, major shifts happened. And from 2012, my soul has just been wanting to clear, wanted to sober up from alcohol, from all these toxicity in my life, and from pregnancy all the way till now, kind of been a process of clearing, cleansing. And then I just like spirit came, you know, just the voice came to just start meditating, just really go for it. And like I was in Hawaii, I was in Oahu, I sneaked away from everything just for like a week and was able to just go there. And I just kept hearing from the wind, just sit down on the damn beach and just meditate, whatever you gotta do. And it was there that I just went into a deep meditation practice, like over an hour. I started going deeper and deeper into it, just allowing myself to do it. And, and then I started taking classes to strengthen my intuition and meditation and learn tools and tricks. And then eventually I opened up my, you know, third eye, my pineal gland. Everything started to, I mean, it took a while to let go of so many matching pictures and fears and self-doubt that was so stuck in my space. It was so strong. It was unbelievable how strong it had a hold of me until I was able to finally clear it. And now I see the difference and I'm like, wow, gosh, I really cared so much, you know, about perspectives of others like that intensely. You know what I mean? It was more about how I view myself, it all comes back to yourself.
Right, right.
And a place of surrender. So, yeah.
What, can you tell us why you feel that energy healing and reading is important or necessary for people?
I think it's very important for those that are more sensitive, that are really those that can go into groups or like crowds or walk into a room and get drained and feel really down or depressed all of a sudden being around others. People that are empathic, sensitive, that feel they have to do things to be lighter, they have to constantly work on themselves. Those are the people that definitely need energy work, I feel like, because their DNA is already tuned into that frequency, to a higher frequency of sensitivity, to be able to sense all those other energies. So most likely they're absorbing the energies if they're not able to clear them or protect their field. If they don't already have that, like some kind of understanding of how to ground their energies daily and put up their shields and put themselves in gold or whatever they decide to do. I definitely feel that it's really important to maintain this energetic electromagnetic field that we have.
Right.
And we're like the earth. We're a reflection of Mother Earth, how she has her own field. Every plant has its own field. We have our own field. We need to learn how to maintain it. It's our job. Animals and the earth already are in alignment with their natural ability to maintain that. And we also have the same ability. And I just think that that's why it's so important because we are that connected to everything around each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more important to understand how we affect each other, how we vibrate off of each other, how we absorb each other's energy and deflect each other's energy. And even those that are not sensitive, just to be able to clear some of their own energy to be able to start feeling more sensitive. So I always recommend those people as well. Absolutely, it's for everyone. Animals, kids, everyone can have a healing. A plant could have a healing if it's dying. You could literally set the intention to put in your golden source healing energy into that plant to help it grow. We've seen that with water molecules, how they change with frequencies, right? So we're the same way. We're the same makeup.
Right. And it's so mind blowing for so many, but that's when you're trying to wrap your mind around something. It's kind of true.
Our mind is a program that's easily programmable and that we're still learning to have a good relationship with. You know what I mean?
So all this energy you're talking about, this is stuff that you can now see and perceive. And so I'd love for you to just tell us like how you perceive. I know we've talked about the 4 clairs before. So what's your experience with how you perceive energy?
I always sense it first. So that's the there's clear audience, which is what you hear. When sometimes you hear the sounds or hear voices, which happens sometimes. There's a clear sentience, which is like a scent. There's a familiar smell, or you're smelling a scent that reminds you of some spirit or someone else. That happens sometimes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no problem. What did you say?
Also feeling the clairsentience?
Yeah, it's more like what's more scent. It's like the perceiving the senses in your nose, like the way that is perceived. Like aromas have a certain feeling, There's clairvoyance, which is, just really, when I close my eyes, I see visions and pictures. I have images that come to me. And so I usually see the fields in different colors. The bubble in which you're in, I'll see the different colors and the different things will light up in your field that need to be looked at with attention. And that's where I use my abilities, as I've like trained myself more through time, through meditation practice, through just constant clearing and clearing of the third eye and the crown chakra. And the only way you can really get that going is through just a practice, you know, because it's like a muscle, it gets stronger.
Right. And when it lights up, like, how does that look? Is there any way you can describe it, or like the things that need to be addressed?
It's like, you know, when you just see like a chakra person, or like it's a bubble. Sometimes I'll see a flower. Sometimes I'll just see like a bunch of colors like light up in different parts of the body or different chakra points. And then when those certain parts light up, my intuition gets triggered, and then I get a picture or get a piece of information, or I'll get like a sound or like a word. And then through quick, you know, putting it all together, then you perceive what you see. And then as you say, the first thing that comes to you is the truth. It's always the first part. The moment you doubt it or question it is when it's your analyzer is actually turned on, and you're not being able to really, your egoic mind wants to interfere with the perception of what you are actually perceiving. It wants to, it's just what the mind wants to do, part of its job. I look at it more as like protection. Keeps us questioning everything.
Got it. So I'm curious, you know, let's say someone is just starting to develop their intuitive abilities. What would be your advice for if they sense or see something kind of scary, let's say?
I think the only thing that is really that scary for most of the people that I've come across, even myself, I think is more about these darker, lower frequency energies, these entities, the unseen forces that can tantalize you or bother you, or find a way to distract you, or, you know, find a way to drop your frequency. But that's exactly how they get used, by the fear. And so that's exactly what they want you to do, and that's exactly how you fall into any type of attack or so. So just knowing that, so why even enter that world, or why even go there with that feeling of fear, or why even, you know what I mean? It's like,
totally,
you're setting yourself up. You know what I mean?
Levels of perception, and we get to choose what we tune into. I mean, at least to some degree, it depends on where we're vibrating and where our energy's at, I'd say. But also we can say no to things that aren't, you know, that we don't feel are serving our higher purpose.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, the one time, you know, it's been few times that I've seen things like, I mean, I get images these days more and more, you know, and as you know, Alex, like my mom will come through and, you know, she'll bring me images, which is so amazing. And so that's newer for me. But years ago, you know, when I wasn't receiving that much, there was an experience I had where some of what I saw was beautiful and very angelic and high vibe and amazing, and it was awesome. But at the end of this like vision thing that I was going through, it was like this kind of scary entity that came over, wrapped over my bed, and it was like a black and red, I want to say like a centipede kind of. And it was a woman, and it was like she was speaking to me, but I had my eyes closed, and I guess I wasn't looking, I was just listening at that point. It was like she was trying to seduce me to come out of the box you've been in, come out. And it sounded positive, and at first I'm like, yeah, you know, I need to come out. But when I opened my eyes, there was this like, you know, centipede thing, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, this is, wow. I don't want to judge a book by its cover, but I'm not feeling so, you know, I don't know. Yeah, this isn't something that I'm really wanting to be involved with, so I just told her leave. And right. I said that I just saw her like fly out the window. And so I was like, okay, all you need to do is just, you know, set your boundary. but I was sort of shaking after that. I was like, wow, I'm surprised. I'm amazed that happened. But anyway, so what I was
Yeah.
trying to say is like, that was my experience with that. But, if people are opening their intuitive abilities and this is something they come across, then I suppose one thing is knowing that you have a boundary and you can say no.
Yeah, exactly. And that you can command your spirit, and it really is just a place of empowerment. And when you're empowered, you really are unstoppable. You cannot be messed with. You're, uneffable with. You know what I mean? That's the way. So when you're connected to spirit with source, highest source frequency, God, source light, you're okay.
What would you say to people? What's the best way to do that? What would you say to have that connection, to create that connection to source?
With your breath, it's your life source, right? It's your breath, it's your heartbeat, just connecting to your body, to, to how you feel with your vibration around you, with how everything's moving all around you, spending time meditating, just even communicating, having conversations with spirit. For me, it's always nature is always my way of being able to connect the quickest way.
Yeah.
It's almost like astounding joy, just like, look at this creation. But and sometimes just being with your tribe, your soul tribe, is just like a reflection of our God selves, the reflection of that connection that we all have, and that we're representing that too. There's so many ways to connect.
Just going back to, since we're just talking about these darker entities, I know there's a lot of people right now who are concerned with these darker agendas, as you might call them. I'm not sure if there's better words, but certain people who are involved with creating control systems and trying to keep human consciousness down. What's your viewpoint on that right now, and what we're going through as a collective, as a lot of this is coming to the surface right now with COVID-19 and all this stuff happening?
Well, I just would always like to remind people that we are in the matrix. Like, it's really real. It is a real system, and we're in it, and we have to learn how to live in it and deal with it. And it's a third dimensional plane of existence, and our spirit is multidimensional, and it can travel to beyond that. And so that is the joy of this human experience. And to also remind yourself that being a human in this spirit, like in this exact timeline, in this exact time and space reality, that we chose that, first of all. Second of all, if you're cursing at being here, or just upset at, choosing this lifetime, wishing you could end it all, wishing you can die, or what, upset at God for even, like, why am I here? What's the purpose of it? I see it as another matrix program pushing onto all of the light workers and all the people out there that's trying to also keep everyone down, running programs, because our brain is a CPU processor, basically. It just picks up all the signals that are happening, all the frequencies, and it just processes it. It's whatever it's processing. It is what it is. It's created out of this system, right? And so the only way it's scary, if you're in that, if you just think that that's all there is, that that's all that we're capable of, this third dimensional reality. Of course it's going to be scary. We're going to watch the news, we're going to be freaking out. It's all but the reality is there's more to that, and we're more than that, and we're able to, that whatever they're programming into this matrix field has nothing on us compared to what we are and what we are capable of, like,
Right.
by enjoying our life, by being grateful for our existence and for our abilities, and keep getting excited about it. We're actually breaking that all down. We're literally like, it's like the shields are up, they just keep throwing things at us and they can't. I just always see like an image of a Viking with its shield, and I'm always like, yeah, they can't get us now. They're just coming at us in different directions, like, you know, arrows and all kinds of cannonballs, but they can't get us, you know? So,
Changing.
and just knowing that and trusting that, when you get to that place of clarity, to trust and know that, because that takes some energy work too, to get to that place of trust, because that's been taken away from us too as a humanity. So getting to that place, and it's a great feeling. It's like being on the other side.
You
Just
just,
seeing things over there for, like, you know, totally different way. So
it's like have more effect on us before, because we were more asleep, you know, or like in other past lives, let's say. But now it's like they can't touch us because we're remembering our sovereignty and we're remembering our power and remembering, if we don't allow it, then it's not going to continue to affect us. And that's this beautiful awakening right now. It's like all these light bulbs going off, or all these, you know, things. I don't know what the metaphor is, but just we're
popping all like popcorn.
Like popcorn, and they can't stop it. They, you know, I mean, the censorship on some of these platforms, it's like, seriously, you can try, but it's not going to continue. It's
exactly.
New realities and more freedom.
And what's really cool is that what is the awakening? It's like so many layers too, right? Like the awakening is also coming out of this 3D matrix dense reality that it is just full of fear and worry and stress and enslavement, and we're relying on this system of government that is supposed to be our savior. Like, what is this? Like, even religion's tied now with everything. It's all this silliness. To me, it's just a bunch of, you know, so much silliness. And I feel like the awakening is just knowing that, wow, we have a spirit and we're ready to fly and learn and grow and find out all the deeper parts of us. And we can create reality. We can manifest. We're not just like victims to fate. You know what I mean? This is like, I'm not going to be a poor, like, you know, there's no such thing as, like, you know, the caste system. What? You know, I'm not going to be born into this for the rest of my life. I mean, God, that's just, I feel sorry for some of those people that have a consciousness that doesn't allow them to see more than that, because it's so sad, you know, that they think that's all there's to it. And I've met a lot of people traveling that way, especially in like third world countries, where they were born into poverty, or like, you know, different kinds of sad type of work, but they just feel that was my parents did it, so I have to do it. But that's not how it goes.
They have
know?
the opportunity to tune into, you know, their own inner guidance and blast past any of those limiting.
Yeah.
So we all, there's no unfairness, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're choosing. You really are choosing what you're wanting.
Yeah.
Really.
You can choose to continue down the programming and the, you know, that's been handed down to you, the beliefs, all of it, or ego or whatever, or you can listen and take inspired action from that higher elevated, you know, space. That is the truth of who you
are. Right. And I get a lot of people where they just are really upset with God. Like, they're really mad at God, or they think there's no God because of what's happening all around. You know, I'll get people like that. And it's such a good reminder also for me to be like, that is another big clearing of forgiveness with yourself, because that's actually heavy energy and heavy karma by throwing stones at God. You know what I mean? In a sense, if you think about it that way, that's going to come back to you with many lessons to help you learn what that means to be in tune with what is a higher frequency spirit. You know what I mean? Connected to those realms and reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like with people that are even just to not even trust that there is, you know, just not to look at God as such a separate being from themselves, to look at him more as like
part of you.
just listen, just tune in and hear, just feel. I always say close your eyes more, because our eyes tend to just want to just sway us in different ways. Like I don't know, our eyes play tricks on us so much,
Physical so much, but there's so much more than what's already manifested.
Yeah, exactly. Spending more time with your eyes closed, it's amazing what that'll do. Just taking a moment, taking a few deep breaths in, and say, I'm so grateful for my spirit. I'm so grateful for my body. I'm so grateful for my choices and my reality, for my family life, for my support system, and to talk to your body. I mean, this virus right now is a virus, but it's also a powerful, it has its own electromagnetic frequency. So talking to your body is to make it a higher frequency, to battle whatever is coming at us in different ways, to overcome that, because it really is it's like a magic thing, the way it works. It's so deeply rooted in our intention, and that real knowing when you're setting that intention, that connection to, like, yes, that's, I'm feeling.
Speaking of intention, I know you've talked about, having clients who they want you to tell you, they want you to predict their future. And they're not taking that empowered, action or attitude to know that they're co-creating their reality. So,
Right.
what's my question here?
So I always get people asking me, well, tell me the future, what's going to happen? And what am I going to get this job? Am I going to get this? Am I going to get that? I'm like, well, no one can predict your future, because you have free will and you can change your reality at any moment. But we can tell you the energy that's supporting you and what's going in that direction. When we're looking at the energy that you're currently vibrating at and where you're heading in the current state, but you have the free will to decide and change and shift, so then you're able to go different ways if you like.
Right.
So it's not a locked, that's the beauty of it all. It's like, no, this is not a curse to be a human being, and we're not here like, this is a privilege and it's an honor, and that we're powerful co-creators, and to keep reminding ourselves that, no matter what.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Because I do feel like for a long time people were feeling that, like, it's just suffering to be human, and we're living out karma, and I don't know, it's just a different mindset, a different consciousness to see the perfection and the like you said, the gift to incarnate here and have this experience, and to be on the leading edge of creation in this physical way. Not every species gets into it this way. And so, yeah, when we can just zoom out and have that higher perspective, it makes us a lot more grateful, which I love.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
So you can tune into timelines for people. Can you see different potentialities? Is that something that you...
I can look at past timelines, current timelines, and future timelines of what's going on between certain time periods when we're looking at them. And I can see there's like different breaks in the timelines, or different events that could happen. Different images will pop up, or certain blockages, or something will show up when I'm looking at the space of time. I can allocate a certain picture of what the time space will look like in my vision, and then I work from there. It's like the artist working on the palette, basically, is how I see it. And it's really it's the first thing that comes. And if you are conscious of an analyzer in your sympathetic nervous system, and knowing how to turn those down, and to bring up the protection body of glass, to raise your frequency up to the place of the higher realms, to be able to get that information. It's all this kind of a setup. I'm setting up my stage in order to be able to communicate in that realm, so I can see it in certain ways. I don't just sit there and I see all this all the time. Sometimes things will come, but I don't, like when I'm busy and this, right here, I'm here, but when I'm going there, I'm there.
Got
So
it.
there's still separation.
Got it. So we choose our parents before we come, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's across the board for everyone. I've just read that it is. But do you know what else we pre-choose? Because the way I've heard it described is that there's certain things, milestones, but everything else that's in your life kind of flows and is co-created through your free will choices.
I believe our personalities are also brought in. Like they don't change. It's like almost like our DNA, like certain aspects within our DNA gets carried over. I believe that we do choose our parents, and we've many times we'll be parents of our parents. Sometimes we're sisters or brothers, or in a different dynamic to learn different lessons, or completely different families. Really just depends. We could look at the Akashic records for that stuff in detail, or sometimes we can just look at each individual spirit, what they can communicate with us. But our personalities generally are even seen in the womb, in the baby. Those traits are really strong. And I believe our voices, I believe that our voices also are carried on. It's very similar. Their voices are very similar. Like there's something that gets carried on. Something about that as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
all like frequency and like sound. So much. There's so much to know, but yeah, harmonics and all that. For some reason, something's telling me to ask you the question about like, let's say a child is born into the world and it dies at a very young age. Why does that kind of thing happen? I mean, I'm sure there's many reasons, but why?
Sometimes they come as like a lesson. Sometimes they come in, as a way to inspire or shift the parents, or the impact of the birth and the death is already so intense. It's actually, birth is like a very traumatic event to your body. It's very intense. And then death is very, especially when a child dies, most parents go through almost like a PTSD from those type of experiences. They go through a trauma.
Right.
And through traumas, we grow, unfortunately,
Right.
That's how we grow a lot, but we're also susceptible to other attacks, that happen, like in the spiritual world. When we're through trauma is when the other type of entities are able to manipulate us and deal with us. So we, most trauma is karmic. It's usually something that we're healing karmically.
Right.
Once we clear our karma, we don't really deal with stuff like that anymore.
So like for them, they might have experienced losing a child in another life. And so here we are again, once again, it's happening. And now it's an opportunity to heal that trauma and see through a new lens.
Yeah.
Or, you can choose a new way to go about it. Whereas some parent might bury their head in the sand and choose to close their heart and never love again because they're so upset. And then another to move forward and, open their heart more. I mean, just as an example.
Exactly. And sometimes, sometimes like the timing in the body has its own karma, and the body has its own memory and its own muscle memory, kinesiology, reflexes. All this is like reaction to life, memories, muscle memories. Like I can still play guitar after training for like 10 years straight. I could still play the guitar because I have muscle memory. Even if I put it down for a while.
Right.
But I can still play. It's there, but so when you are working out or muscles or training, you're never really wasting your time because you're always giving yourself like you're like expanding more and more like athletes. So that's why they get better and better generation after generation too. Have you noticed? Like it's almost like they're getting bigger and stronger and faster, and you know what I mean? Like I just see it as more energy being pushed and expanded as we expand, and each time, you know, like so like a death of a child, for instance, is also there's a trauma that happens to our body, and so sometimes we have to learn to clear and get like, you know, that pain of suffering that someone has held on to for so long is in the body. Now we have to learn to find it and find where it's stuck, where it's being stored, where it needs to come out of, what foods have to change now because that needs to be cleared, or what exercises have to be taken on now because you need to release the emotions, you know. I know some people that have some severe trauma from childhood, like regards to sexual trauma. It gets stuck in the body most of the time, especially because they forget, they block it out of their view and their memories, and it ends up being stored also in the body and in physical. And sometimes people will start to feel it as when they're working out, or if they're training, or if they're really wanting to beat a score or like lose some weight or something, you know, and they get triggered and all of a sudden they'll have like an emotional release. And it's not necessarily, it's all related to the other stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? So our bodies are fascinating, and part of this journey is to not forget about the body as well, because it's all in.
Right.
You know, we're not just like here meditating and going off into space all the time. We're like mind, body, and soul here together. You know, we got to work it. We got to still keep up with the body. Be, you know,
The body
still,
in a way.
Exactly.
But we're not transcending the body. We're transforming.
Yeah, I really believe that. And as a vehicle that you've chosen to be a part of, to be inside of, your job is to handle it, manage it, and deal with it, and get to the core of whatever is going on there. You know, if you have issues with, you know, obesity, or there's issues with skin issues, eczemas, or something, there's usually something there. The root of that is stored somewhere deep in your energetic field, in your muscle memory, body, wherever it is. It shows up because it is there. You know, it's like always you'll find it somewhere. It's kind of wild how that works.
So you could get a massage, like a physical massage, you know, and someone could come to one of those points and you start crying and release. So physically you can heal that way.
Yeah.
What if there's some energetics connected to it, then someone would need to also work with you, right? And how does that all interconnect? Is there?
Yeah, there are energy workers that are body workers that specifically work. They're like intuitives and clairvoyant, what, you know, they have their gifts and they're able to work with the body. And like someone that has deep suppressed trauma that they know, especially in this lifetime, I would suggest working with body workers, like deeper level, like really getting to the core of it. I, for instance, have scoliosis that has been passed on from the woman in my family, and I'm trying to clear it for myself, for my daughter, so she doesn't get it. And that is deep trauma, not feeling supported, not feeling, it started many lifetimes ago, like wars and different events and things that happen, and being abandoned over and over again through lifetimes. And so that's my workload. Like when it hurts or it's coming up, I'm like, okay, let's clear, and it gets better, and I'm working on it. But it needs to be worked on a deeper level, you know, on a physical level. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you think you could take us through some kind of exercise that would connect us to our own intuitive abilities?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to keep our feet planted flat on the ground. Okay. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to keep our palms up and lay them on our legs facing up. So your giving and receiving ends are open. We're just going to go ahead and just tell our spirit to drop our grounding cord that we came in with. We're just going to go ahead and remove it. And we're going to go ahead and create a new one. So we're going to get into our third eye. And so that place is when you can get into the center of your head and you almost feel like a little pinch. At first it hurts, but after a while you just drop right into there and you just, it's like a home base, you know, when you go in there. So then you get into that place in your third eye. And then you're gonna create a viewpoint, a viewfinder. I look at it as like a point of reference or like a TV screen. So I create like a screen with 4 corners, you know, right in front of me, in my viewpoint through my third eye. And through that looking glass viewpoint, I am going to create a gold line of energy, infinite gold line of energy. And with my mind, I'm going to take that gold line of energy and I'm going to attach it to my root chakra, which is right below the bottom of your vertebrae. It's like a cone-shaped type of spinning chakra point that moves like clockwise, basically on the bottom is the way I see it, just coming off of the body. So we're going to go ahead and grab that gold line of energy and we're going to attach it to the bottom of this chakra center any way that you possibly can imagine it, like with psychic staples. You could tie it around it, you can tie it with a knot, however way that it's like nice and secure. So then you take this gold line of energy in your view from this point right here and you're going to drop it down, and also from the bottom of your feet channels as well. We're going to go ahead and clear the bottom of the feet channels with this gold line of energy. And as you do that, you just take it like in a clockwise motion. You're imagining this gold energy being just cleansing out the bottom of these chakras, just like taking a quick little clean out. Like you took a paintbrush and you just like cleared it right out. So we go from the bottom of the foot chakras, then we go down through all the layers of the earth, through the ground, the asphalt, the layers of the earth, rocks, dirt, water systems. I mean, all the way down, down, down through the ocean, all the way down till you get to the center of the earth. And you can imagine the center of the earth any way you want to, like a golden lava. It could be a crystal. I'm going to imagine mine as a beautiful piece of, a giant piece of Larimar, which is my favorite stone. And I'm going to attach it to the center of the earth. It's got like an aqua green and white color. And I'm going to attach the gold line of energy from my bottom of my root chakra and my foot chakras, attaching it to the center of the earth, like a gold line of energy. And you attach it to the center of earth, however way that you can imagine it, like a bow and arrow, like an anchor. You can shoot it right through it and like let it go through there, however way you imagine that it's on there securely, so there's like a good strong connection between the both of you, from the earth and yourself. And just really feeling Mother Earth's grounding energy as she supports you and as she asks you to let go and release everything that's in your field and drop it to her. So we're going to go ahead and attach that, and we're going to extend that line of energy to the width of your hips, all the way up to the width of your hips, like a tube, like a hollow tube from the bottom of your feet. And then we're going to go ahead and turn on like a switch at the bottom of your root chakra. And we're going to just like create like a vacuum, like a siphoning out all the energy that is inside of our space, in our body, in our auric field. And just letting it all just come down this tube, like coming up like a fountain going in all the way down asking the body to let go of everything that isn't serving you, isn't at the highest side, is not belonging in the space. You can ask for hidden parts, you can ask for specific parts, you can ask for fear in your space, you can ask for unworthiness in your space to drop down. You can spend some time in this place every day and just whatever comes up for you, just sadness in your space, lack of support in your space, wherever you find it in your field, you just go ahead and pick it up in your field and you just watch that energy go down your grounding cord and let it get transmuted to the center of the earth. And I usually do this for just a few moments. And then when I'm ready, I imagine the color of the center of the earth. For me, it's like a beautiful aqua green color. For you, it may be any other color. It doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong answer. It is about you and your creative, you're just using your intuition to guide you through this process. So then I'm going to take this earth energy from the center of the earth, and I'm going to create a ball with this color, and I'm going to have this energy go up that grounding cord, that tube that I created, and I'm going to run that earth energy all the way up the tube until it gets to the bottom of my feet chakras, and let it swoosh out, bringing that earth energy and cleansing it out with my feet chakras. Then I go all the way up to the bottom of my root chakra, and I'm going to go ahead and clear that out as well. And feeling that earth energy and being really supported with this really warm, powerful, grounded energy. And you can feel it when you're grounded. This is what it feels like. So I'm going to go ahead and take that earth energy, and I'm going to go ahead and start working up my front channels of my chakras. When we're in a meditation, get to the crown. That is their highest place of. We are also very protected when we're in the crown chakra as well. So we're going to go ahead and clear that out with that earth energy. And when you get a good clean out, go ahead and take all of that color of that energy and just imagine it's going all around your auric field, this color of this earth energy that you've created. We're going to ask your auric field to come about 3 to 4 feet around you. If you want to be more in tune with your psychic abilities, bring your auric field to 4 feet around you. If you don't want to be so tuned into your psychic abilities, go ahead and bring your auric field closer to you, about 3 feet. You can even go 2.5, but closer than that, it keeps you too closed off from the world. So keeping it about 3 feet is a really safe place. So imagine this 3 feet of energy that is bubbled around you. And then imagine this color, this earth energy, blanketing your entire field and feeling the support and the presence of that earth energy supporting you. And then going back to the center of your head, staying in the center of your head this whole time, making sure that you're there. Keep checking in with yourself. And then we're going to go travel to the cosmos and find the highest and brightest colors that represent cosmic energy. We're just going to quickly go run our imagination, our vision, just fly straight out to the cosmos as fast as you can, not looking at anything besides the point of interest of where you're going to. For me, it's always the Milky Way as I travel straight to the Milky Way, sometimes different planets, but today we're going to go straight to the Milky Way. And we're going to go and pick the highest and brightest color that's going to represent the cosmic Father Sky energy. And for me right now, it is a beautiful pinkish fuchsia color right now. And so I'm going to take this fuchsia pink color and I'm going to grab a ball of that energy and bring it down, all the way down as quickly as you can towards you, and let it come to the top of your 7th chakra and run this cosmic energy in your 7th crown chakra above your head, combining with the earth energy that you've already brought there earlier, because we just cleared it out with that energy, so it was sitting there, right? So now with this cosmic energy, you're going to make a combination of 90% cosmic energy and 10% earth energy. So think of it as more, for me, it was like that aqua green with the pink. So I have more pink and just a little bit of aqua green in that color. And this, for me personally, right? So I'm going to take that combination of color, and now I'm going to take that combination of color and I'm going to run it down the back of my third eye chakra. So we're going back here to the bottom of our head at that angle. We're going to take that combination and cleanse it out real quick, that combination. Same way as the front, going down the back of your 5th chakra, throat chakra. So the back right here, the back of your heart. Taking that combination down to the bottom of the 3rd chakra, to the back of the 2nd chakra, and keep moving down. And then get to the root chakra, and taking that combination and letting that combination just kind of blanket your auric field all around you, feeling that connection of Father Sky and Earth Mother. That is a truly grounded feeling I get when I do this combination of energies. And from this space, I'm able to work on going into my field and then doing different things from this point. But this is the place of really feeling grounded. And then after you feel grounded, if I usually put a golden sun above my head, I imagine a golden orb in this golden sun, and I call in all the energy I've left off from different places. This is something that is so simple, but if you just call in where your energy might have left off in the car, in a store, an argument that you had somewhere, or some other location, you know, we leave energy sometimes in different scenarios. So we're just going to go ahead and bring all of our energy back into this golden sun, wherever we left it off. We're going to bring joy into this sun that we created. We're going to bring alignment, happiness, empowerment, whatever words that you want to bring into your field. We're going to just put it all in there. When you're ready, and that sun is nice and full and filled up with everything that you want to fill it up with, you're going to crack it on top of your head. And you're going to let that energy flow in the inside of your body, oozing out through every cell and every part of your being, out through your auric field. And then when you're filled in with every part of your being and field, you can go ahead. I always send in some extra healing to heal the cracks and crevices in my auric field, to make sure that every part of me is sealed up, repaired, and filled with this energy, with this golden energy of this golden sun. And when I feel like I'm really filled in, I say, with the blessing of divinity, may this reading or healing be complete when I'm, you know, if I'm doing this for someone else. But you just feel that sun cracking, and like as it embodies your being, then you're ready to, then you can open your eyes and come out of that trance. It's like a very deep cleanse on yourself, but you could really heal yourself doing that. Like, and then if you work on all the other chakras, if you continue, like, there's no stopping you.
And that was a more advanced thing, right, Alex? I mean, you didn't
Yeah.
this kind of energy healing, did you?
Yeah, just like, but it's, why not get to that place just to try, you know, to see how that works for you.
I feel it, definitely. But yeah, wow. It just shows the years of work you've put into this, and it's really awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I do feel I do feel it. So you would call that an energy?
It's a cleanse. That's your self-healing cleanse, grounding. If you want to get into like a place of truth or clarity within your space, like so a lot of people are psychic, right? But people sometimes say, "Oh, I'm psychic," and then they pick up on energy, and then they're like, "Oh, I have my guides are telling me this, my guides are telling me that." I was like, spend some time with clearing yourself before you just trust these guides that you're just picking up on. Take some time to clear yourself to know if that's really the truth, because we pick up so much just from other people around us. Like,
right. That may not even be their energy.
Yeah.
And then also, we're vibrating on different levels of being and perception too. And so what are they picking up from this version of us or this version of us? But if you cleanse, then
then you get a place of clarity, and then you're like, oh, okay, I got this, and then you're like, no worries. I don't need to ask someone else. I got this.
I got it. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
And for all of your beautiful wisdom, Alex. I just so appreciate
you.
And if people would like to get a hold of you, where should they find you? Where can
they can go to my website, www.goodvibeswellness.love, just as it's spelled.
Yep. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on
book sessions with you and all that good stuff. Right?
Yes, I do in person or phone. I can do remote healings and readings. Energy travels through many mediums. If you know how to do it, energy can cross any medium space. We can go across the world too, which is really cool. Which is really neat. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Well,
thank you.
Wrap up there, but thank you, Alex, and everyone. I'll see you on the next interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you.